Are you concerned about Isaiah Oliver? It was interesting. He was like the one
Yes.
starter out there with the defense, and I'm thinking, wow, like why? And then he got torched, and I'm like, okay, that's why. And then Kyle today said he's not the starter and he's competing. I was like, with who? I didn't know.
I'll say it right now on the 14th of August. You know who I think may take that gig? Your UCLA brother.
Hey, Q. I
Quantrez.
love that guy, man. He's such a good
Quantrez
guy.
looked great. I thought
Every
that was
time,
one of the. I thought
yeah,
Quantrez and his Quantrez dad follows me on Twitter. Tommy, he's a great
yeah,
guy. I'm a big fan of Quantrez. You watched him at UCLA. He's a true alpha. He's super smart. He can play corner. He can play slot. He can play safety. And you know what? He will hit you. So I did not like what I saw from Oliver. That over route, crossing route, he was chasing it from behind. It almost looked like he was going 3/4 speed. And
yeah.
to me, if he doesn't play better, Quantrez, I think, is going to be better against the run. So if he doesn't play the pass better, I don't know if I would play Oliver over Quantrez.
No,
I kind of
I
like
love
Hawkins
Quantrez Knight.
too.
Quantrez Knight. People don't know who he is. He went to UCLA. I told him I go to UCLA, and every time he sees me in the locker room, he says, "Grant, I'm coming. I'm coming." Meaning, I'm going to make this team.
He's a good player.
I'm going to make this team. And I've told the story before, but he played at UCLA. I went up to him. I said, "Hey, do you know which team Chip Kelly coached before UCLA?" And he's like, "No." Who? I was like, "This team, man." Football players. It's funny, man. They just sometimes they just don't know.
They're in their own lane. But he's a ball player, man, and he will hit you, and he can cover, and he's smart.
Yep.
And if Isaiah Oliver doesn't get it rolling, Quantrez will be the better option, and Wilkes will go to him.
You have to understand, he played for Chip Kelly. Like, Chip Kelly has terrible defenses. Terrible. This guy was like not just the best player on the defense, but the leader of the defense. He's a serious football player. So if he has the athleticism to cover these dudes in the slot, he also has like the leadership and the work ethic and all that. He's the real deal. Shout out Q. Not my friend because but he's just a fellow Bruin. Okay, how about this?
Good ball player.
Jake Moody. Is he the new Sebastian Janikowski?
I'm worried about that too.
I'm worried about that. Remember Seabass? He had a leg and a half, but he would shank 30-yard field goal. Like, he would just... I mean, he did what Moody did yesterday. Like, man, why did you shank that 39-yarder so hard?
Hooked one, pushed one. I mean, obviously it's early, but Zane Gonzalez, I'll say this. You've been at practice. They've got multiple options. They could go to Zane Gonzalez. If they want to go to Zane Gonzalez. Zane Gonzalez is kicking it right down the middle. And he's got a pretty good leg. Or they could go back to Robbie.
Yeah, they definitely could go back to Robbie. Maybe they should go back to Robbie because you can't have this guy being like. Did you hear his interview after the game?
No,
he seemed like
saw
a
him being
scared
interviewed
kid.
though.
He seemed like a scared kid, and maybe that's what he is. But like, people say Trey Lance can't play for this team because they're a Super Bowl now team. Like, well, kicker's pretty important. I mean, they score the most points for their team. If this guy is going to crumble under the pressure, I know there's pressure at Michigan, but it's not the same. You're replacing Robbie Gould. You're playing for the 49ers. You got to be money. You got to be like a veteran locked in. And that's a lot of pressure for anyone at any position. So I don't know. Robbie Gould can handle it. I don't know if this guy can.
And it's kicker. There is actually insider knowledge. I was talking to Jennifer Lee-Chan about Phil Dawson. Phil Dawson supposedly knew the wind, trajectory, the wind, directions in every stadium in the league. I mean, this was Jake Moody in a freaking dome with missing both dramatically. So we'll see. The question I would have is how short is the leash? You invested a third-round pick in him, and you also invested a third-round pick in Latu. Neither of those guys, right now are looking good. How much rope do they get?
I'm not sure that Latu should make the team, man. Like, he can't hold on to the ball. How many times are you going to let this man drop or fumble the ball before you decide he's not one of your 53 best players? I mean, how do you cut? Like, not just Ross Dwelley's cool. What about Troy Fumagalli? Like, he looks
making plays.
Yeah. How are you going to cut that guy for this guy who makes no plays? No. He does make plays for the other team. I don't see how you do it.
And he said all the right things, but so what?
So
there's no excuse. I just got to catch the ball. I'm going to get on the jugs gun. I'm going to work my ass off. I'm going to do this. It's unacceptable.
Yeah,
That's
better.
great. You can say that,
sweet.
but at the end, the results have to change and fast.
Give me some pleasant surprises from this game, considering the Niners were freaking awful. But some people were not terrible. In fact,
Jalen Graham. Jalen Graham.
Okay.
Is playing, he's wearing the green dot. I thought was a weak side linebacker strictly, but he's bigger and stronger and more forceful hitting than that. He's got good instincts. He was flying around. McLuhan loved him after the draft. McLuhan's got a great eye for talent. This kid is just big time. To me, the big winner yesterday was Purdue football because they had Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders and Jalen Graham for the Niners. But yeah, no, Jalen Graham looked terrific, and he stood out to me. And then the other guy was Deshaun Jameson. I mean, Deshaun Jameson, I've been saying it for 3 weeks now. Hey, I know you guys all like him as a corner, but wait till you see this guy as a return man. He's really dynamic. And then I thought he was going to be more explosive, but his patience was very veteran-like. So I really loved what I saw to Jameson. I loved what I saw out of Quantrez, and I love what I saw to Jalen Graham.
Yeah. Here's one. Waiting to praise this guy for a couple years. Ambry Thomas.
Yeah.
Ambry.
Good game.
Ambry. Sorry. I really knock you on camp because I feel like you never make plays in camp. But I got to say that you make plays in games, man. Like you did 2 years ago. You did yesterday. Maybe you're a gamer. Like after what he did yesterday, I would not cut Ambry Thomas. I would keep him on the team. That was intriguing.
You don't cut good NFL corners. You just don't.
Nope. And he made plays in a game. Shout out to him. Ilm Manning. Third string left tackle. 6'2". I think he's way better than Jalen Moore. I think he should make the team. I like Ilm Manning. When they signed him as an undrafted rookie free agent, I thought they might move him to center, but they just kept playing him at left tackle, which is where he played at Hawaii, and he's good at it. 60.
If it was my call, if they can't find a third swing tackle outside the organization in a trade, then I'm making Ilm Manning my swing tackle, and I'm cutting Matt Pryor, and I'm cutting Leroy Watson, and I'm cutting Jalen Moore, and I'm going with Ilm Manning. Jalen Moore's effort against Jordan Willis was awful. Awful. I mean, literally blocked him for 2 seconds, and then as soon as Willis, moved a little bit to the right or left, it was just like no need to stay in front of him anymore. We blocked him for 2 seconds. That's all we need. And Matt Pryor bulldozed. I mean, he was horrible. I like Zakel as a guy. I thought he really struggled. But I mean, their third tackle, they better be able to go get a trade for a swing tackle. Otherwise, I'd go with Ilm Manning. He doesn't have tackle build, but he's got tackle experience, and I'll take tackle experience at Hawaii over the other guys I'm looking at there.
All right, Javon Kinlaw started against the Raiders. Raiders gouged the Niners in the run game, particularly in the first half. Last time we saw Kinlaw, he was getting pushed around the field in Philly. Since then, he's gotten healthy, and he has had a great offseason. He recently spoke to the media last week and said all the right things, and also said that he still believes that he's a freak and he's going to show it. Did you think he showed that in this game?
No. I mean, he didn't get anything done. You're spinning in an obvious rundown situation. You're spinning out of the A gap as an interior player. I don't want that guy has 1.5 sacks in his career. Yeah. No more spinning. I don't want to see the guy ever spin again.
Stay in your gap.
Stay in your gap. Stay. Yeah. If anybody should stay home, it's Javon Kinlaw. Stay home. You're a wall. You're an absolute monster. Just stay in your gap and force them to move you out of the gap. Don't move out of the gap voluntarily to try to demonstrate a pass rush move when you don't have any pass rush ability. That's the way I see it.
Yeah,
I like him.
I agree.
I did a number of interviews with him last year. I find him interesting. I know he knows that he needs to play with leverage, but he's not getting anything done. He's not getting anything done.
That's the thing. So like he'll go to a press conference and he'll say like it's all about pad level with me. Like all I got to do is maintain my pad level, and you're like, okay, he gets it. And then you watch him play, and you're like, your pads level's too high. What are you doing? It's your fort. What's going on? I don't get that.
They're gonna have a problem against the run inside if they can't find. I mean, Givens gets moved in the run game. Hyder is going to get moved inside again in the run game. Hargrave is a pass rusher. Armstead has great functional strength, but they need one more guy.
Yeah,
this do. This team has not looked the same inside against the run since DJ Jones walked away. And Clea Davis, I love Clea Davis's movement ability. I got to see him actually with a uniform on doing it. Yeah. So Waggy, I liked him practice. Waggy didn't get a lot done. He's on the ground too much. The one guy who kind of fired to me on the D-line that I was not expecting was Marlon Davidson. Marlon Davidson, the Auburn kid who's like a 300-pounder, who's kind of a pass rusher.
Yeah.
He's kind of nice. I kind of like Marlon Davidson.
Yeah, I liked him too. Last topic, and we'll move on to the super chats and get out of here. The backups in the trenches overall. I mean, who was good? I mean, we talked Il Manning, like some third stringers showed, but like of the second stringers, Cleveland Farrell had a sack.
Yeah, he looked good.
But
once again, the offensive lineman blew that. Cleveland Farrell does not have the speed to get around you to the outside. So he desperately wants to make you lunge outside so he can knife back inside, because that's his best route to the quarterback. And what did the Raider offensive lineman do? Exactly that. Gave up the inside shoulder, and Farrell sacked the quarterback. Farrell will not sack the quarterback if you make him run the loop. But if you let him knife inside, he's got a shot. And that's what the Raider guys did. But still, that nonetheless, I like Cleveland Farrell in this game. I liked Marlon Davidson. Backup offensive lineman, Poe, I thought was bad. Zakel was bad. Pryor was bad.
Moore.
Jalen Moore, very inconsistent. Don't feel really good about. Even Feliciano wasn't great. I mean, he's thick and wide and everything, but he's not stellar. But I'm more concerned about the Niner backup D-line than O-line, because the backup D-line's got to play.
Yeah, it's true. And, because they're supposed to have a rotation there. And, like, it seems like anytime you get 99 and 90 at D-tackle together, I'm running the ball. Or
A-gap. That's what the Raiders did. They just said A-gap.